Good morning. Breaking news here from the United States Supreme Court. We got two major decisions that we've been waiting on. First, related to January 6th. In a case that involves over 300 January 6th prosecutions, the Supreme Court has ruled that a key charge used by prosecutors in those hundreds of prosecutions, it's called obstruction of an official proceeding, actually does not apply to storming the Capitol on January 6th. The results of that decision and the court's reasoning will likely affect hundreds of prosecutions, including some that have already been sentenced. In the second case, the Supreme Court has ruled that applying the law that disallows people from sleeping on streets publicly, camping on streets publicly, is permissible to enforce it against the homeless population. There was an argument that it violated the Eighth Amendment's prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment. The Supreme Court has reasoned that it does not violate the Eighth Amendment's ban, allowing cities and local governments to enforce bans on camping on public property against the homeless population. Both of those decisions divided the court along 6-3 lines. In a third major decision, the Supreme Court has overturned a 40-year-old case called Chevron that required federal courts to defer to agencies' reasonable interpretations of statutes. That may sound technical, but this is actually perhaps the most important case of the term that will have the most widespread effect because it will allow federal agencies to move forward, but in a more restricted manner, and courts will now have greater bandwidth to reject agencies' interpretations of power, which will affect things like the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the roads that we travel on. So three major decisions from the Supreme Court here this morning. We'll have more for you this afternoon at 4, 5, and 6.